Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Damian Wayne as Robin from the Rebirth comics. Damian Wayne is the current Robin, and he's a son of Bruce Wayne, although I actually think he gave up the Robin mantle very recently in the comics. This is going to be another one of the Bat Allies in his modern Rebirth classic costume. I like it. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, age of 12 plus, DC Multiverse Robin. He comes with 2 ninja stars and Deathstroke sword. He also has a collector's card and display stand. As you can see, Robin from DC Rebirth. Robin. At the bottom, there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. And then in the back, here he is, holding the ninja star. And here are a bunch of other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures you should track down. So no further ado, let's open them up. And I did end up getting 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one of which to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related 6 and 7 inch unopened action figure collection. And I got this figure at Target today, with the majority of the rest of the wave. They didn't have any Death Metal Batman. They had 3 Drowned, 1 Red Sun Superman, and 2 Damian Wayne Robin. That's a total of 6 figures. I assume the case comes in 6. If it was 8, maybe somebody grabbed the other 2 Death Metal Batman. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with a display stand, a collector's card, 2 throwing ninja stars, and Deathstroke sword. But before I look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So Damian Wayne, this is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. He's supposed to be 13 years old. He's the current modern Robin. His face has a sort of annoyed look to it. You can see his mouth expression, big old fat nose. Mask looks great, hair looks good, very modern. His hood is down, I like that, I prefer the hood down look. His cape's sort of going upward on the sides. Not really fond of that on this figure. Going further down, a lot of yellow stuff going on here. Not the classic original Damian Wayne Robin look. Overall looks pretty good. Looks like single jointed elbows, but I will admit they can go in considerably more than 90 degrees. Looks like single jointed knees as well. That's disappointing. The red laces look very nice down here. His cape's kind of in motion, but not too bad like some of the other figures. Overall, very happy to add a more or less iconic looking Damian Wayne as Robin. And as happy as I am to be getting a regular iconic looking Damian Wayne as Robin, I'm not really happy with the expression. He looks annoyed. I don't like the way the mouth is curled up. The nose is a little too big. He looks like he's sort of pouting. I don't really like that part of him, but the rest of the figure is pretty good. Now let's check out his accessories. We'll have to start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says DC at the bottom. It's got 1 peg for the peg holes on his feet. It's very thin, very basic. Now let's check out his collector's card. This is a replica of the cover of Teen Titans Rebirth #1 with Damian Wayne on the front. As you can see, I have this comic right here. On the back side, it says it's from Teen Titans Rebirth #1 from 2016. And I have both cover variations of Teen Titans Rebirth #1. And do not confuse that with Teen Titans #1, as those are completely different things. Here are both cover variations of the DC Universe Rebirth Teen Titans #1, not to be confused with Teen Titans Rebirth #1. Yes, that's a thing. Now let's look at his ninja stars. They're both silver. They're pretty firm, pretty sharp. Not too much extra detail going on. They definitely achieve what they're supposed to do. Look like some cool, sharp ninja stars. I do believe they are the exact same weapon that Damian is holding on the front of the cover here. Here he is holding one of the ninja stars. And here he is holding them both. Next, let's check out his sword. You may have noticed earlier that I referred to this as Deathstroke sword. Nowhere on the package does it imply that. Nowhere in Teen Titans Rebirth #1 does he fight Deathstroke, but I know Deathstroke sword. This is definitely that. See the handle? It's gold. Nice little bit of texture where the grip is. The blade looks good. It has a bunch of scratches all over it, like it's been in combat for years. I like that a lot. Here's the cover of Deathstroke number 33 from the Rebirth comics. On the front, you can see Damian Wayne holding Deathstroke's sword, saying, "You lied to me, Batman. Deathstroke is my real father." Judging by the cover, it appears Deathstroke has brainwashed Damian Wayne and he's about to kill Batman. Here are a couple of other Deathstroke swords that are using the exact same design. One came with the DC Collectibles DC Essentials Deathstroke, and one came with the DC Direct DC Icons Deathstroke. But boy, that McFarlane one is way bigger. Here's Damian Wayne holding Deathstroke's sword. That sword is way too big for Damian. He can hold it with either one hand or with two hands. It's even huge for McFarlane's Deathstroke figure. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. And that's something I was very curious about when they showed a Damian Wayne Robin. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 6.1 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 15.5 centimeters. Now, before we condemn him and say that's way too tall for Damian Wayne Robin, 6 inches, we will check him out compared to a bunch of other figures later. Yes, he's going to be crazy tall next to the Mattel figures or Marvel Legends, but McFarlane is a different scale. We will check him out next to some various Batman McFarlane figures shortly. I'm not going to lie, when I measured him it said 6.1. I was immediately sort of taken back, but let's wait and see. Now let's check out his articulation. So starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side, it can look up and down about that much, can tilt from side to side, give him a good amount of personality, can be looking down at you with that sort of face. Shoulders on a ball joint, about more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. I don't really see a butterfly joint on him. He's got a bicep cut below that, single jointed elbows, and they're very similar to the Robin Crows, but they can go in considerably more than 90 degrees, so that's something anyway. Wrists have ball in them, they can rotate, and they're going to be hinged as well. He's got a soft overlay and a bunch of joints inside of here. You can rotate from side to side, and it does hold those poses. I know some of these things have been a little bit less forgiving in the past. You can go forward about that far, back about that far. Now his legs here, they can go out about that far. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Really no rotation, it's pretty much non-existent. They can go forward about that far, back pretty much not at all. He's got single jointed knees, and I'll say that's disappointing. They can only go back about that far. There is rotation as well. He has his ankles, a ball there, they can rotate. They can go up and down about that far. They can tilt and rock, although I'm not having a lot of success there, but I can feel it. Probably need to heat him up and work on that a little bit. And he also has toe articulation. Now, one annoying thing about this guy, the more I move his leg, try to kick him really high, it pops out of socket, doesn't break. It's not as bad as my Flashpoint Batman, but it is definitely annoying. Here's Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne at the Wayne Manor Library. And later, here's Batman and Robin doing some research in the Batcave while Alfred is trying to give them a snack. And then, Batman and Robin prepare to get into the Batmobile. And it looks kind of weird, but they do both fit in the Spin Master 12-inch scale Batmobile. Not a lot of cars that can accommodate these 7-inch figures. Here they are, driving through Gotham City in the Batmobile. And as the Batmobile is arriving at their destination, they realize they're in for more than they bargained for, with the Court of Owls and their army of Talons. And here's Damian Wayne, taking on the entire court by himself. And let's not forget, Damian Wayne was trained by the best. Damian Wayne was raised and trained by Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows, or the League of Assassins. And here he is, next to the figures I used for, from left to right, we've got a custom-made Ubu, a custom-made Ra's al Ghul, then Damian Wayne in the middle, then a custom Talia al Ghul, and then a substitute for Nissa al Ghul and the Sensei. Now let's check him out, compared with some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the 3 Robin Crows. They're another short figure like him. He's a tiny bit taller. My first thought was, what parts do they share? But it doesn't look like they share anything. If anything is shared, it's whatever's under the soft goods overlay in his torso. And here he is, next to some other former Robins in their current costumes by McFarlane. We've got Nightwing, Robin, and Red Hood. I hope they give us a Tim Drake as Red Robin in the near future. This Mattel Multiverse Red Robin fits in okay. Tim Drake is supposed to be a little bit younger than Jason Todd, but older than Damian Wayne. And while we're on the subject of all four Robins, here are the figures that I use for each of the Robins in their original costume. On the left, we've got a Mattel DC Universe Classics Dick Grayson in his original costume. And the second figure is actually a variant of Dick Grayson, but since they wore the same costume in the original continuity, I use it for Jason Todd. And then we've got Tim Drake, and boy, did Mattel mess up the scale with that guy. He should not be shorter than the Dick Grayson Robin. And then we've got Damian Wayne. Here he is, next to a pretty normal or standard McFarlane Rebirth Batman. This is the Batman I pictured putting this Damian Wayne next to. Although I think an argument could be made to put him next to either one of these Batman figures. Here are a couple more Batman based off the modern comics. And here we are, expanding on the Batman family. Very happy to add another member of the Bat family in their regular outfits. Here's the entire Rebirth Bat family they've made so far, and I can't wait to get more. Hoping for a Red Robin and a Batwoman next. And here he is, next to my entire McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. If you count all the different variants, I've got a total of 51 different figures and 2 vehicles, and I'm not even fully caught up. And here's a more aerial view of the entire collection. Here he is, with a bunch of different members of the modern Bat family and extended Bat family. From left to right, we've got Katana, Black Canary, Bluebird, Orphan, Batwoman, Batgirl, Azrael, Robin, Batman, Ace the Bat-Hound, Batwing, Nightwing, Duke Thomas, who later becomes a Signal, Red Hood, Red Robin, the Spoiler, and Huntress. Now let's check him out, next to some other Damian Wayne as Robin figures. Here he is, with all the different DC Direct Damian Wayne as Robin figures that I have. Here he is, next to a 1/12 scale Artifact statue of Damian Wayne. Then, here he is, next to my Mattel Damian Wayne Robin figures. We have both the DC Universe Classics Signature Collection Damian and the Multiverse Damian, and then I bought a couple extra of both and did some part swaps. Here he is, next to a custom Damian Wayne as Robin figure that I made well before they made Damian Wayne in his proper Robin suit. And here he is, next to all my different Damian Wayne as Robin figures. And here he is, with a Damian Wayne figure before he became Robin. This is from the DC Direct Son of Batman line. And then, next to my Damian Wayne in civilian attire. Now let's check him out, compared with some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. And don't forget, he is a teenager, so he should be smaller than them. Here he is, with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, here he is, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, with some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a pretty cool figure. His sculpt is very nice. I'm just not personally super fond of the expression. I have seen a lot of people praise it. His articulation could be a little better. I was expecting double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. I'm also very annoyed about the leg being able to pop out. It doesn't pop out with complete ease, but put a little too much pressure, Try to make him kick a little too high, and it'll come out of the socket. His accessories are very nice. I really like Deathstroke's sword. That's going to be great for Deathstroke. And his ninja stars are pretty nice as well. So overall, is he better than the Mattel version? I think he is. Although I'm so used to that one, it's kind of hard to fully decide if he's better or not. Now I will say, I do think this guy is too tall. Not by a lot compared to the other Mattel figures, but he does seem a little bit too tall for a 13-year-old. Overall, if I were to rate this guy, I'd give him a good 7.5 out of 10. I'm enjoying this figure quite a bit. Very happy to add a member of the Bat family to the mix. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.